know you said that he had terrible pains in his stomach.
Involuntarily, I clutched the arm of the settle for support.
Even if he is on board the Mongolia.
A man rather feels the presence of these fellows.
Let's set up Audacity for Librivox. Now, some of these settings are meant to help you meet the Librivox technical requirements. Others are included to help simplify and improve your workflow. These are only suggestions, intended to provide a good starting point. You are always free to use them, ignore them, or modify them to suit your particular needs. Let's start by opening Audacity. It's easier to see if you make it full screen. My example here is smaller, so I could capture the entire window. If you've never bothered to change anything, your screen probably looks something like this. Well, we're going to make some changes, and we'll start by simplifying the interface. Select View, then Toolbars from the top menu. Uncheck the following toolbars: Play at Speed, Scrub, Selection, Time, and Spectral Selection. Unless you need them and know how to use them, they're just cluttering up your screen. This next bit can be a bit tricky since I don't know what your current interface setup is, but it's one of those things that will give you a better view of what's going on. The object here is to get the two level meters one on top of the other and as large as possible. If the recording level meter is not already on the top row, click and hold the handle icon to the left of the microphone image. Drag it onto the top row next to the Tools toolbar. Do the same for the playback meter, the one with the speaker image, and drag it below the other one. If there are any toolbars still to the right of either meter, drag them to the bottom row. Then hover the cursor over the right edge of each meter, hold down the left mouse button, and drag it as far right as it will go. The positions of the remaining toolbars is not important. You can arrange them any way you like. You should now have two long meter displays that provide greater resolution and are easier to read. All right, now it's time to jump into settings. Select Edit, Preferences. Select Devices. Make sure that playback is set to your output device. Now, this can be a number of different things. Audacity will use the default system output device, which in most cases will be your speakers. For recording, once again, if you are using a USB interface or USB mic, it should show up as USB audio or possibly the specific name of the mic. Audacity will generally default to anything that gets plugged in, but it's best to make sure. In the Recording Channels section, this must be set to 1 mono. Don't miss this one, it's really important. Now select Playback from the list on the left. Change the length of the effects preview to at least 20 seconds. The default value is not long enough to give you a good idea of what change an effect will have on your audio. Back to the list on the left. Select Quality. Set the sample rate to 44/100 Hz and the sample format to 16-bit. Now select Interface from the list on the left. Look at the drop-down for Theme. If you don't mind the bright glaring background that Audacity uses by default, you can leave this as is. But it will be a lot easier on your eyes over extended periods if you set the theme to dark. It's your choice. Set the meter dB range to -48 dB. Back on the left, select Tracks. Check the box that says Auto Fit Track Height. Checking this option will expand the track to fill the window each time you load a file or stop a recording session. The bigger display allows you to see more detail in your waveform. If you prefer to use the tiny waveform that is displayed by default, you can always uncheck this box. Now, this next part is also a choice. Audacity's default waveform scale is linear. This is the view that most proof listeners are using when they tell you about reaching that magic 0.5 number to get your level in the range of the technical specs. But the problem with using linear mode is that all of Audacity's effects use the decibel or dB scale in their settings. If you change this to logarithmic dB, effect settings will make more sense when you use them. Set this to waveform dB to start. Again, you can always change it back if you want. The last setting we need to change is in track behaviors on the left. Check the box that says Select all audio if selection required. This will keep you from having to make extra clicks or keystrokes each time you want to use an effect. When you open an effect, Audacity will automatically select the entire file for you if you haven't already made a specific selection. Click OK at the bottom of the Preferences window to return to Audacity. Look at the two horizontal meters at the top of the screen. The top one shows the input or microphone level, while the bottom one shows the output level. The lowest visible number to the left is -45. The actual lowest number on the meter is -48. You just can't see it. This is what we set it to in Preferences. What that -48 dB level represents is your target noise floor. The goal is to see no green bars on the meter when you are not speaking and to peak around -6 to -4 when you are. If you can do that, your recording will pass checker without having to be amplified. Note that when you amplify a signal, you amplify the noise too. If you do see a solid green bar during quiet bits, you'll need to work on your recording environment. In most cases, it's a matter of cleaning up background noise, but there are a number of other reasons too, such as being too far from the microphone or using poor quality microphone to begin with. It pays to get rid of the noise up front and not have to deal with noise reduction. You can fix the problem once or deal with the symptoms forever. It's your choice. Many times, though, the use of the noise reduction effect is unavoidable. Just to make sure you use it with caution, since it's the fastest way to degrade your recording. The only thing left is to make sure that, when exporting the MP3 file, you have selected 128 kbps and constant bit rate in the Save dialog. And just in case you didn't record to mono, check the box that says Force Export to Mono. So, that's all there is to it. Once you get everything set up properly, you can go forth and record with confidence. And hopefully, save yourself a lot of editing headaches in the future. Thanks for watching.